Okay, I love this for several reasons. Listen, I am not a baseball or sports expert of any kind, but a few months ago I fell down the rabbit hole of baseball history because I accidentally discovered how fundamentally silly, whimsical, and beautiful it is. So this situation specifically reminded me of stories from the dead ball era, which is like 1900 to 1920, but specifically between like 1900 and 1910, when there would only ever be like one umpire on the field. So his job would resemble everything from weatherman to public safety authority to arbiter of justice to prison warden trying to round up all of these criminals that are playing baseball on your field using sleight of hand to try to trick you to believe that they weren't out at home. So it would be like on that one guy to determine if a game should be called or not for weather or because it was dark, because they didn't start having night games till around the 1930s. Some of the time if it started getting dark and it got too dark to see the ball, which was an issue because the balls were darker back then because this was the dead ball era and they were made of like different material, and also there was a bunch of pollution in the air all the time. Players would just like slowly start absconding from the game till suddenly it's like, oh, we don't have enough guys anymore. But in the context of this video right here, this is why it made me laugh. I saw some people in the comments being like, just call the game. That would make sense, yes. But it reminded me of all these stories of players back then doing outrageous things to like provoke the umpire or make fun of the umpire for not calling a game when the weather was outrageous or it was getting too dark. There are so many stories of when umps hadn't called the game even though it was raining. Players would come out in like full rain gear, like raincoat, galoshes, and they'd just come up to bat with their big yellow rain hats. And as for the night games issue, there was this incredible guy named Luther Taylor. I did a video on him. He's hilarious. Check it out. They were playing a game and it was getting dark, but the ump wasn't calling the game. And so Taylor went up to the clubhouse and came back with holding a lit lantern above his head and wearing a fireman's oilskin and went out to go play on the field like that until the umpire started screaming at him, hollering at him to get off the field. But here's the thing. Luther Taylor was deaf, so he couldn't hear the ump yelling at him, and so he just keeps dancing around the field making everybody laugh until the ump got so frustrated he just called the game. So what I'm saying is, if this happens and you do want the game called, next time come out in your little snow boots and your snow pants and big winter coat and bring a sled and just go to town.